Hey, Courtney.
Hey, Bart.
How are
Bartley.
you? Bartley. Courtney. Courtney Marie.
How's it going?
It's going really well. I'm excited we get to talk to one of our favorite people, one of your favorite people. I don't really know them, but
Kendall is one of my favorite people.
I know.
But we get to talk to Kendall and Angie from Canine Cabana today. And I'm super excited about it too.
Yeah, she talks about Kendall, y'all, all the time.
I have a girl crush on Kendall because she's so positive.
She's so fun. That's what it is.
And her company is so they have great company culture. These ladies know what they're doing and they have a great team to show for it.
And they used to have the coolest job in the world. They were zookeepers.
Well, I think their current job is the coolest.
I know that's really cool.
That's
it is
our job
cool
too.
I mean, who doesn't want to work with dogs? But they got to work with zoo animals, all kinds.
Well, I think we should stop talking and just talk to them.
Okay. Let's get them on.
Let's do it.
All right.
We are here today with Kendall, Duncan, and Angie Pickren from Canine Cabana, just outside of Tampa, Florida. So welcome, you guys.
Thank you so much. We're so happy to be here. So excited.
We are too.
I noticed that both of our walls are the same color as the Florida water.
Is it still blue?
Theirs is blue.
Yeah, y'all have Texas.
I was like, yours is blue?
Texas
No.
beaches are
Our
bad.
wall is blue. I grew up in
Oh.
California, and when I came to Texas and went to the Gulf, I was like, this isn't a beach.
Wah,
It
wah.
was like
Florida's amazing.
brown, choppy.
Oh, yeah. We love our beaches here. They're
I know.
great sandy beaches and beautiful.
Beautiful.
Very
So
nice.
tell me a little bit about Canine Cabana, how you got started, how you decided to go into business together. Cause I know you guys are best friends, right?
Right.
Or at
Oh,
least were when you
are.
started.
How long have you guys
I think-
known?
That's the thing that people are most impressed by, I think, is that we're still best friends after having owned a business for as long as we
Mhm.
have. But
Yeah.
yes, we opened in 2008.
Okay.
But we've known each other since 1997. We were
Nice.
zookeepers at Busch Gardens. That's where we met. We worked with all kinds of fun animals there. So,
Oh, that's awesome.
yeah.
Yeah.
Did you
That's
guys
how we
work in this
started.
same department or?
We
like-
did. Yeah. I was on a team. At the time in the 90s, of course, it wasn't as politically correct as it is now. So we were on what was called the display run. So any
Mhm.
animals that our guests saw on display is what we took care of. So there really was only 1, 2, 3 people, and then I got added. They had been there, 20, 30 years. The 2 other people that we worked with that were amazing mentors for us. And then we needed another person. So Angie was brand new, just graduated from the University of Florida with her degree in zoology.
Wow.
Go Gators.
I'm sorry?
Go Gators.
Go Knowles. Oh, I mean, no, go Gators.
Oh,
So
yeah.
so we picked
Longhorns.
Angie and she became part of our team and it was amazing.
Yeah.
So we instantly became fast friends. The 3 seniors kind of trained us how to work with all the animals in our care. And then we started by opening, or the other 3 then opened a new area on the Busch Gardens, which was called the Edge of Africa. So
Mm.
that was lions, hyenas, hippos, baboons, meerkats, and then some vultures. So we started that, but then our area was black rhinos. We did lemurs. We did all
Wow.
small primates like spider monkeys, squirrel monkeys, colobus monkeys,
Wow.
Cape
That's amazing.
buffalo.
Yeah, we still had the
Yeah.
Cape Sun too.
So-
Yeah. So I was lucky to be the newbie. I got to be the chosen one. Which was
Oh my
great.
gosh.
They're like, you get to pick that up. We've been here. It's your turn
That's
to pick
right.
it up.
That's
No, we
right.
didn't play like that. We picked up the same. Yeah.
Yes, we shoveled a lot of dung.
I
Yeah.
bet.
Yes.
Yeah. And you got to feed them and put food out and
Oh yeah.
clean
No, we
cages
did.
and-
When we first started, most of it was hands-on. So even we could pet the black rhinos. I mean, we used to go in with the colobus monkeys. They'd smack us around. We'd go in with the baboon.
Yeah. One of
Betty, she was like a big colobus. She'd bite you. Anyway. it's fun.
Oh.
they don't
Yeah,
do that
we had a
anymore,
great
do
time. Oh my gosh, we had so much fun. No, they loved it. They would want to be pet and they just let us like stroke their arms and
yeah,
they
we would
loved
try
it.
to put up their hands like that, and then they would do, for us to pet them,
Yeah.
and then they look away from us because that's how they talk, call us monkeys. So
Thank you. It's more, please.
learned a lot
Great.
about behavior.
Yeah.
Talk to the
They were
hand.
like, please.
They
Yeah.
were so
great.
spoiled and we ate it up. We had a blast. So
What did
we
you
did a lot
guys do with them? Were you like do enrichment or
Yeah,
like training
absolutely.
for husbandry?
We did everything. So we did not only, taking care of their habitat.
Mhm.
A lot of in the edge of Africa was brand new, so it was all glass. So we had to learn how to be expert glass cleaners.
Yeah.
We would have to learn mow. We would have to shovel and clean dung. We would have to scrub their bedrooms. We would have to fix water feeders, fix fences. And then the upside was after all of that was complete, we would do all of their sessions as well. So training sessions, relate sessions, played with them, did enrichment, especially for the primates. They were required by, law, of course, to do so much enrichment a day. And Angie and I were so young. We were 22 and 21. So we were eager. And we would just do everything. And we're like, can we try this? And our mentors were really amazing and let us pretty much do whatever we wanted as long as it was safe.
Yeah.
Even if they had tried it before,
We
they
would
were,
have rhino birthdays and
Oh,
make
yeah.
sweet potato pies for them and bring out the sweet potato pies, and they would just, the black rhinos would take their prehensile lip and they would just dig into the sweet potato pie, and they'd have, just stuff all over their face. It was the best. Yeah.
it really
We
was
loved
an
that.
amazing career. I cannot complain. I mean, I met Angie, I met my husband, I met some of my best friends. One of my friends came over today. I met her. She goes, I've known you 20 years. I was like, I know.
I know. Isn't that cool?
Yeah, we're older now.
So
Oh
how
my
did you go
gosh.
from that to, hey, you know what would be cool? Let's
I'll let her explain that part.
get into dogs.
Well, yeah. So I was a stay-at-home mom in between my career at Busch Gardens and then Canine Cabana. So
Mhm.
by the time my kids got ready to go into school, I was itching to do something back with animals again. So kind of got this crazy notion to start looking into doing something with dogs. There was a need in our area for it, and dog daycare was still fairly new. It was new and upcoming, and so we started doing a lot of research on it and dragged along our families and said, what about this? And it took a little convincing, and then a lot of blood, sweat, and tears.
No, I don't want to do it.
Yeah, because we knew a lot about animals. We've always, animals. We were great with them. We had a lot of background in that. We knew dogs. We didn't know everything about dogs, when it came to group play and things like that. But we had a lot to learn about business, and boy, have we.
Yeah, right?
That's the hard part.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. So it was it was a family decision. Angie is a go-getter and she has this amazing brain, and she just really was like, I have to use it again. And I was like, okay, I think I could. And I was like, I don't know though. I loved my career.
Yeah.
Angie and I also traveled with the animals. So we've been on Jack Hanna, Rosie O'Donnell, a variety of talk shows. And,
Oh, cool.
so it was a little bit of the mystique, and it was cool. Like,
Yeah.
I was cool.
Yeah.
People are like, you
You
wouldn't
feel
be
cool.
Come on, who are we kidding?
So you left the zoo to start the business, and Angie had already left and had children and was like ready
Yeah.
to come back.
So
Oh,
she
cool.
really was amazing. She did all the research and found the property and, really. And then my husband was like, this is what we got to do. And I was like, but you're not doing it. I am.
I'm not sure.
Hey. But anyway, it was the best decision / push I've ever had. So I'm eternally grateful for both of them for steering me in that direction.
Oh, that's so great. I love
That's how we
it.
got into it. So Jay and I sold our house that was 45 minutes away. We purchased a house here locally in the community and said, okay.
Let's go, honey.
And I'm guessing you play different roles. You probably have different strengths. So like Angie,
Well-
what's your role? And Kendall, what's your role?
Well, I'm the numbers. I do the numbers and analysis, and I do the bookkeeping and
Mhm.
keep track of expenses and payroll and, all of that, analyzing numbers and looking at revenue per pet per night and,
Right.
going in and pulling numbers out of the software. And we're having a little bit of a thunderstorm. So one of our doggies in here
I'm thrilled.
is letting us know about that.
That's
That's
okay.
okay.
So-
We
so
have
we have a definite,
Tiger.
we wear a lot of different hats in the business. And of course, Kendall's been so instrumental with the marketing side of it and building relationships and really, getting out in the community and bringing people in. And, we have such great support, that way too, but definitely different hats and very different strengths, but we complement each other really well.
And they overlap. I think everything
Right.
overlaps. If she does go out of town, I can do payroll. I can't do
That's
And if I have to
good.
go to a networking thing, I can
She
do
can.
it.
She does very well. She likes the things she doesn't, but everyone in the community loves Angie just as much as they love me. So
Yeah.
we
but I'm-
definitely have different strengths, but we always try to overlap them or come together however we need to make the right decision for the business.
right.
And that has been tricky. I think the biggest thing when people are like, well, my best friend and I are going to open a business. I'm like, okay, let's sit down and have
Yeah.
a conversation.
Let's have a chat.
Because, you're so polite. I'm sure I can't imagine, can't wait to hear your perspective as a married couple, because, you have to have hard conversations and you have to, hurt each other's feelings sometimes. And that's hard,
yeah.
when you love someone and you were there when their children were born and vice versa, that, now when you don't agree with something or you think that this isn't, I
Yeah.
think that it's, so we really did have to learn how to communicate. And in the last 14 years, there have been ebbs and flows,
Mhm.
there have been, life changes all the time for us, right?
Right.
So
Yeah.
marriages, babies, divorces,
Mhm.
life happens. And it, as much as you'd like to leave it at the door, you can't always. So
Yeah.
so it definitely has been a challenge, but it's also been really rewarding.
Oh, that's great.
Did
Yeah.
you guys do anything? Have you just figured it out organically or have you done like,
We have 3 therapists.
okay.
No, I'm kidding. I'm
No,
kidding.
well, I was
I was
gonna,
like, that's great.
I was gonna, I couldn't think what but like, are there books or?
Here's our therapist. Hold on.
We have a therapist. Like,
Here's our therapist right
Oh,
here. No, I'm kidding.
cute.
Yeah, that's for baskets, but anyway. But no,
Sometimes
it
we
does.
might break into one.
Yeah.
It
I
just
think it
happens.
is organic, and I think it's been a lot of conversation, sometimes tears, and sometimes
Mhm.
figuring out the roles because
Yeah.
should both of us try to do everything and know how to do everything really well, or
Yeah.
should we separate and do what we're good at? And
Yeah.
so I
Focus
think
on your
that-
strengths.
Yeah,
That
there's some
sounds- yes.
people that are like, yeah, you should work on your weaknesses. And, if you're a bad singer, like you're
You
not going
shouldn't
to
work
be a
on
better
that.
singer.
Right.
Just,
Karaoke's for you.
yeah.
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 I think I always felt like we should focus on our weaknesses too. And then at one point we went to a non-dog related event and John Maxwell was the speaker. And he was like, do not focus on your weaknesses, focus on your strengths because you can make your strengths stronger. Your
Right.
weaknesses might never get to where you want them to
Yeah.
be.
You can get
But-
your 4 to a 6.
Yeah.
but-
You can hire your weaknesses.
But I
Just
think
focus
we
on
focus
Exactly.
on weaknesses anyway, right? Like we're so
Yeah.
hard on ourselves personally.
Yeah.
That's what I don't think about. Oh, I'm so fabulous at this. I think, oh my gosh, I could have done this better.
Yeah.
So that's a really good point. I love that. I'm going to
Yeah.
use that. Thanks. Let me put that.
write that
Like
down.
you
Be sure and
said.
write that down. Well,
That's
kind of
I'm
the-
just teasing.
What?
That's one of the big things we learned is that you have to hire people who are better at things than you are.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then you can grow your business and you can, focus on the things that you need to focus on. So part of that was that learning curve too.
Right.
That, we needed to hire people who were better at things than we were. And
Yeah.
You have to take your ego, put it
Right.
outside the door.
That's right. Because
And
that's
be
when
able
it shit gets
empower.
real.
Yes.
Seriously, like
For
you're
real.
learning how to communicate with each other, and then you throw a whole bunch of employees in there, and then you see what the soup looks like, and it's totally
Yeah.
different.
yes.
That's a whole
Then you-
other.
Then you really get to learn
Kendall,
about
you're
yourself.
stirring around. It really is. That's also
Yes.
something that you have to learn kind of organically how to work out.
Well, yeah,
Well-
I remember. Oh, I'm sorry
No,
to
no, no,
interrupt you.
no.
I was just going to say, I remember probably 10 years ago, we were really struggling with our leadership team. And I just kept saying to Bart, like, if they would just
Do
work like I work, everything would be fine. Like,
Yeah.
why can't they just do what I want them to
I've heard that
do?
before.
And it wasn't until I started to realize that each person's personality is different and
Yeah.
their strengths are different. And if you don't appreciate those differences, then you're screwed
Yeah.
because nobody's ever going to be exactly
Well,
like you. That's the point. You want them to be different from you.
And it
Right,
wasn't just
right.
it wasn't our leadership team. We had like employees that they were like brothers and sisters that were just always in each other's business. And they all, I hate the way that he takes so long, and he's
It's like
always
having children.
checking up on me, and she's always laughing and messing around. And I was like, you guys are like opposite end of the personality spectrum.
Yes.
He's like that, but he's really good with details.
Mhm.
Like, respect that.
Yeah. Even today, some of the employees that are the most opposite of me are the ones that are
Right.
the most valuable.
I'm gonna have them take them real quick.
That's
out.
okay.
That's all good.
We've
Sorry,
got
can you pause it?
Yep.
No.
Yes. So now you've added employees. Now you've got a whole new fun ball of wax to work out your communication kinks. And
Yes.
that makes life fun and interesting.
It does. I love to talk to people about employees because it's like my father-in-law. He lives with us now and he's
Mhm.
88 years old.
Oh,
So he
my.
wants to, talk about the damn kids today. They're
Yeah.
so lazy. And they, and I will say, even on Facebook, I have to stick up for the kids. I can't take it. I can't take,
Yeah.
when people want to complain about their employees or the
Mhm.
kids today.
Mhm.
Well, first of all, it's us Gen Xers that ruin the kids today. So why are you complaining? I can't complain, right? They're my
Right.
kids.
Yeah, I did that.
Yeah.
I mean, I always giggle at that. The boomers, they can take it. It's not their kids, it's
Mhm.
ours.
We're their
But
kids.
it's been one of the most challenging aspects of the business to figure out. And I think, and of course, I feel like we're still figuring it out. But when Angie and I had to change our mindset, it wasn't because our employees aren't, right? Our
Mhm.
team is not going to change their mindset. In the beginning, we have millennials, and now we have Gen Z. So each generation, it is amazing to me how different we are. And
Yeah.
because of how they grew up, because right, as Xers, Angie and I, and I'm not
Mhm.
sure if you're Xers, I think too.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
We grew up, right? We were the first latchkey. We were the last cool generation. No,
Yeah.
we were the first kids to walk home alone, have a key, and have to function, right? Because we
Yeah.
had two parents working most of the time. So we had to learn how to multitask. If I wanted to watch my show, I had to get my homework done and make a sandwich.
Yeah.
Where kids today, a lot of parents stay home, some parents, so
Mhm.
they can watch TV while their mom makes them a sandwich, and then they can do their homework later because their parents will remind them. And so I think we had to change how we looked at each individual, not only generation, but person.
Yeah.
Do you
Where this-
have any problem with the generations button heads? Like, do you have
We did.
Millennial.
We now typically, our generations are closer together now. So we hire our team for what will fit with our team currently.
Mhm.
Because even through COVID and through everything that's happened, we haven't lost anybody.
Wow.
We maybe have lost new people who have come on board.
Mhm.
But we lost a bunch right at the beginning of COVID, but we haven't through that. We haven't. And so that's directly because of the type of people they are and that they do get along really well. We have a running joke that, we want everyone to get along, but we don't really want you to be friends. So you hang out outside of work.
Yeah, ours do that.
Yeah, ours are very
But we
close.
hire such compatible people. They do. Of course they do.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Hello, I worked with her for 20. Yes,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
want to work with people that you love and like and
Yeah.
have fun
Right.
with and admire. So we had to look at it differently, and we had to learn about each generation.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And then we had to say, okay, how do we change what we're doing in order to make the culture that Canine Cabana needs and wants, and that our clients and that our
Mhm.
dogs deserve.
Yeah.
Right.
So
So-
that's one of the things I wanted to highlight about you guys is that you have an amazing company culture, which I think is why you have such happy employees and you guys
Well-
haven't lost a lot of people.
And that's what really keeps it going. Cause like, I'm sure we've all worked at places with shitty cultures.
Yeah.
But we've gone
Oh.
through phases here where like the culture's just not good.
Mhm.
You
But
know,
we have two.
Oh,
I mean, we have two. Don't get me wrong. We have two. That's how you learn,
Yeah.
Yes.
right? You're like, oh, what happened? And sometimes you think someone's a great fit, and then I hate to say poison, but bring in this really bad juju. And then you're like,
Yeah.
wait, what
Mhm.
happened? We worked so hard. And
And it
Yeah.
poisons
You know, and
the
that's
whole,
happened.
the whole group.
yeah.
Now I know that some of this has to do with the kind of people that you hire and like where you look for people and what kinds of questions you ask them. And so talk a little bit about like your hiring practices
Your
and, you know,
protocol.
how that fits into your culture.
well, it's all changed, unfortunately. So we can talk pre-COVID.
Yeah, tell me both.
I mean, really, we don't do anything extraordinary. I'm just going to say that right now. We do not do anything extraordinary when we're hiring people. We used to use Indeed almost exclusively because
Mhm.
we got a better quality applicant.
Mhm.
Then thanks to our good friend Amber from Canine Coach in Atlanta, she recommended Applicant Pro. So
Yeah.
then we switched to that during COVID. That actually did really well for a little bit.
Mhm.
Really well. We had a lot of coming in and it went well. We do look through all the resumes, and then I pretty much will call almost everybody, or Kayla or our supervisors will also
Mhm.
do a phone interview, because sometimes people just don't know how to write a resume. And
Mhm.
so it might look not great, but maybe they're okay. I mean, we all have
Yeah.
strengths and weaknesses, right?
Right.
Yes.
If I needed to write a resume, I would pay her to do it because I might not do it really well. So
That's me.
I'd be like, help me out.
And I would say no, because she's never leaving. So
Luckily, I don't need a resume anymore.
Better not, lady.
Jeez. So we do a phone interview and we ask a few minor questions, not a ton, just a few. How do we like chatting with them? Can they do a good conversation? And then if they do, we come in for an in-person interview. Then we do an in-person interview. That's where we ask a little bit more questions to try to see how they felt about their current employer, past employers, managers. And we do that to see, are they negative? Are they positive? Can they talk about, well, I made a mistake once and this is how I corrected it, or this is how I learned from it, because we're
Right.
all human. We all make mistakes, and we're okay with people learning by failing.
Yes.
And I think a lot of
You
that,
gotta.
I think that generation today, that's the problem, is we didn't let them fail a lot. And
Mhm.
so they didn't have obstacles. And so I think it's important that they are okay with failing. So,
Yeah.
we ask that. I mean, and then I don't know, what else do we ask? Just little things like that. Not too major, but it's more about the conversation, right? That we're just having with them.
and encouraging them, like when we do the phone interview too, we encourage them to find out a little bit about us. So that's one of the questions we ask. One of the first
That's
interview
good. I got
questions
that.
is what do you know about Canine Cabana? Why
Right.
do you want to work here? So see
Yeah.
if they do a little research. How interested are they in
Yeah,
that?
that's a deal
it
breaker
also-
for us.
Yeah.
It can be. It absolutely can be. Is how much time did they put into seeing what we do? Did they go on our social media? Did they look at our background? And also on that end of it too, will they ask us questions? Will they
Yeah.
find out? When we give them an opportunity, will they ask us questions to see? What can they do? What do we offer? And how can they be a good benefit for us as much as we can for them? So
Yeah.
it kind of goes into more of that communication too. We're looking for, will they question things as well? If it doesn't seem
Mhm.
right, will they ask or go, that doesn't seem right? It just kind of have that always that interest in doing things, making things better and all of that as well.
Do you have any go-to questions like that you ask in every interview, or try to?
We
feed
do.
it?
I don't know what they are. I'd have to pull them up.
Like we're
There
like,
was one question that you asked that I think I
Oh.
remember that had something to do with like, what kind of dog would you be
Yes.
if you were a dog?
That's how we end every interview. Besides their question, we just say, okay, final question is, you could be a breed of dog. If you could be a dog,
Mhm.
any breed, you could be a pure breed or a mix.
Mhm.
What breed would you be and why?
Aw.
Yeah. And it's hilarious. Some people are like, oh, I'd be a bulldog and just sit around and lay on the couch all day. And I was like, well, that's not what we do here.
Yeah.
You
I
know,
just
and
want to
it's
play
like-
with dogs.
Right.
I just want to
And
play
then
with
some
dogs.
people are like, I'd be a German Shepherd because I just love to work and I love to look at things and I like to figure things out. And I'm like, oh, okay, they're a workhorse, you know,
Let
but you got to
them
reel them in a little bit,
Right.
right? Got to reel them in.
Yeah.
You know, some
That's
people are like,
funny.
I'd be a Labrador Retriever. I love the water. And
Yeah,
you know,
that's me. It's like I'm a,
Like
I'm
me.
like I'm a lab or a golden retriever.
Yeah,
Right.
totally. What would
right,
you say
like
I am?
Goldens.
You're a Sheltie
Because I nip at
Why?
people's heels.
because she's always excited and she's like, "What's that? What's that? What's that?"
Yeah, I'm very ADD. So yeah.
I say I'm a
squirrel.
cross between, I say I'm a cross between probably a Labrador Retriever and a Jack Russell.
Yeah.
Because one, I'm nubby and, you know, I'm happy and I love people and I want to be everybody's friend and I want to get to know everybody. But if you cross me, so help me,
Yeah,
I will bite.
I'm gonna dig up your flowers.
I will bite you.
I might not bite you, but I will get snippy like a little Jack. So
Did
Oh
you-
my gosh.
We always found that people that badmouth their previous employer, they never worked out, or that's also not a deal breaker, but that's
It's
something-
definitely a red flag.
Yeah.
When they, you know, when you say,
Definitely.
tell me about your last job, and they're like, oh, my boss is terrible.
the people I worked with were
they
horrible.
never gave me any time off.
I
I'm like,
know. They used to get
"Oh."
mad when I was like sitting down on my phone and stuff. I don't know what that was about.
Okay, here's a little aside. What's the dumbest thing an employee's ever said?
Oh gosh, I don't know if we have anything like that.
We could give you some examples if you'd like.
For me, this
I don't
just-
know because I ask some really dumb questions sometimes and I'll ask it and then I'll go, hold up, just answered. Never mind.
Oh,
Never mind.
never mind.
Well, so-
I'm good.
for me, maybe it's not a question. One time I had a kid ask me why we didn't have lazy boys in the ready room, and wouldn't it be cool if we had chairs that we could chill in
Recliners
and
with
watch
TVs.
TV?
Mhm.
And I was like, that's a
With
good
the
idea.
dogs or in
No.
the break room?
No,
No,
like
just-
in the room where we do baths and meds and feeding and
Oh,
laundry
okay,
and
ready room.
blankets
In the workroom.
in the work
Right,
place.
because then you would be doing that and not working.
Yeah, he just wanted a
That's
place.
funny.
He was like, I just want a place. I just want to work somewhere where I can chill.
Yeah.
And I was
Oh.
like, okay.
This isn't it.
Then
I
we'd
don't
already
know
hired
what
him.
place I don't know any place you can just chill.
I think the work and the chill part of that are
No.
a little counterintuitive.
Yeah.
But that was
Yeah.
not the dumbest thing. The dumbest thing was I walked into our training building one time, and it was the middle of the winter,
Mhm.
and it wasn't cold, but it was probably in the 50s outside. And I walked in, and it was just like a furnace, just this wave of heat. And like first thing went to the thermostat, and it was set at like 85.
Oh my God.
And I don't know how long it had been on that long, but I was just like, oh my God, like this is really hot. And I couldn't find anybody. And I walked around through the main room and found them in their office. And there was 2 trainers sitting on the floor, just like literally doing nothing. I was like, oh my God, it is so hot in here. And they were like, we know, that's why we have the window open.
Oh, stop. The window open. That's great.
And I
So,
I couldn't say anything. I just
yeah.
dropped my mouth, closed the door, walked out, turned the heater off, and was just like,
What?
anyway, I don't know why I
Yeah,
asked
no.
you
You
that.
know, I don't know. I mean, I think that we do have a lot of young people and sometimes they ask a lot of questions, but we really are okay with that.
Mhm.
And Angie and I are very good about using our own failures with them, even if they're getting written up or something happens, like, listen, you can learn from this and grow from this, or you
Mhm.
won't. But this is
Yeah.
a choice and this is kind of a road. So you got to figure that out. So we don't really have any, I mean, I won't say we have dumb, I just don't, I don't know.
Okay, no, good
I
answer.
don't know.
Yeah, I
No,
mean, we
that's
always
good.
ask them to, if they have a concern or a question or they want,
Yeah.
to change or a complaint, when they
Yeah.
come to us, is to have a solution for it too.
Yes.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah.
even if it's not the best solution, we'll let them try things that
We'll
you
let
know,
them open a window if it's too hot. Then
Yeah.
we'll say, But another way is you could go to the furnace. You could go to the
Turn that
thermostat
off.
here and you can shut that down.
And save us money.
And that way we have saved money and you can get a raise and you don't have to open the window.
Yeah.
Right?
The hose is leaking, you just tighten it
Can't even.
and then it
Yeah.
won't leak.
Or tell somebody and we'll get you a new nozzle.
Seriously, like
Tell me it reminds you of your children though. I have
Yes.
3 teenagers. Okay, I have 3 teenagers
For
and
sure.
an 88-year-old father-in-law at my house. So
Mhm.
a lot of it does remind me of them. And I kind of giggle because I think their parents would all roll their eyes and laugh too at what
Yeah.
our team does as well. One time I got their hose spewing, which then happens, right? They split, they get holes in it, the dogs.
Uh-huh.
yeah. or the
So I
washer.
went down just to fiddle with it. And I was like, wow, the whole thing's wet. It's making mud. And it was just loose.
Yeah.
Literally 10 people around
Mm-hmm.
in yards. I go, okay, excuse me.
Pay attention.
Everybody circle up.
I was like, okay, take a deep breath. Life lesson.
Yeah.
So when you see a hose spewing, what do you guys do? Well, we normally tell you that we need a new hose. I said, it's great, but you should touch it first
Yeah.
to see if you can fix it. Because here's where 2 hoses are connected. You see these ends, a female and a male, and you tighten that.
Mm-hmm.
See how it tightens like that?
Yeah.
And then it's fixed. And then our team's so funny. They'd be like, so we're just
Yeah.
stupid, right? I was
Yeah.
like, no,
No.
say
you
that,
just
I'm
don't-
telling
well,
you.
I never said that.
this
I've
is how
had-
you learn.
I've had
So we just tease them like that. But
That's great.
had
it
so
reminds
many.
me of my kids. It's no different. So
Yeah.
it's
They
just
don't know
like
that there's a washer. Like it
Oh,
didn't
right,
have a
the
washer.
washer.
I take it apart and I'm
Right.
like, there's no washer. And they're like, a what? I'm like,
What's a
a
washer?
washer. It's the little
Yeah.
rubber thing that
right.
let me show you. And they're just
So
like,
think about it though. Kids today have things so different from when we grew up,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, they didn't grow up
Angie
drinking
and I-
out of the water hose outside.
No.
yeah, that
And
was my
even
favorite
Angie
sport
and I were
drink.
joking. Angie's like, I don't know that my kids have ever used a can opener that wasn't automatic.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, yeah.
and I
For
thought,
sure.
I'm gonna bring one home and see too,
Oh.
because these are the things we don't send our children out into the world with.
Right?
This is what grandpa's talking about. Okay.
Yes.
Our son
It has
didn't
a
know
pop-up.
how to dial. What was it?
Easy. He's an employee now.
No, I know, but he couldn't, like he was using an outside phone. He was dialing somewhere long distance
Oh,
and he had to dial a 1 or you
Yeah.
would have to dial a 1. And
it
he
was
didn't
a
know,
long time ago.
he didn't know that you had to dial 1.
right.
Yeah, of course.
Why
Yeah.
would he? I mean, we have cell phones and we don't use
Yeah.
landlines that much. So
No.
it's just kind of, so we try to give
Yeah.
as much grace as possible
Yeah.
to our team because I think I try to give grace to my children
Mm-hmm.
also. And I know that I personally need a lot of grace because
Oh,
there's some
gosh.
I don't know how to
We
do
all
it.
do.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, so we love our team and we love when they come to us with problems and we do ask them to think about solutions first because typically
key.
you might not like my solution and you might not like Angie's solution. So,
Right.
maybe if you come up with that, and I need to do that more with my kids at home. I need to let them figure it out more.
Mhm.
What do you
Yeah.
guys, so Courtney was telling me that you like had a fun culture and like, what's like stuff, what specifically are you guys doing to, like, are you playing games
To
or
make
do you
work
have
Not enough right
meeting?
now. Honestly, right now we're not doing enough. We are very, we work on the business. We have
Mhm.
supervisors, of course, we have leadership team, we have that handle the day-to-day operations and those sort of things.
Mhm.
But Angie and I are in the back of the house more now than we ever have been, as far as even just walking through. How are you? How's your day going? What dog is that? I love seeing you play with that dog. So
Mhm.
more a little bit of talking with them if possible. I mean, there's days they don't see us and I'll walk out to leave and they're like, I had no idea you were here. So
Guys.
I know. So we have now, it's been more unfortunately of like food, always having food for them. If they'll come and say, we haven't had Chick-fil-A, can you get us that? Angie set up this summer ice cream trucks, Kona ice trucks, every other week.
Oh, I love
Anything
that.
just to get the mundane, break up their day a little bit. We do our staff meetings every other week. We try to have a team building event in the very beginning to get everybody kind of laughing and joking. And then we do an educational piece so they can learn a little bit.
Mhm.
And then we kind of get down to the nitty gritty. And then we do shout outs like, oh, people write on a little piece of paper. I shout out to Angie. She cleaned the drains for us and got out a whole bunch of goods. So I'm going to give her 1 million paw points because she doesn't really get to redeem them. So
Oh, that's right. You have the pop.
doesn't matter how many she gets.
Yeah, part of our onboarding when we do bring new team members in is they fill out a little piece of paper that basically lists their favorite things. Like what's your favorite food item? What's your favorite drink? They have
We do that.
Yeah,
too.
we do that too.
favorite restaurant.
They have a favorite breakfast burrito because they're
Breakfast taco.
It's
Yeah.
Texas.
taco, breakfast taco.
Nothing like some breakfast tacos. in
Yeah.
it.
Amber thinks we're crazy.
I love that. But she
What is
said
a
people
breakfast
tell them
taco?
what kind they like.
Yeah, of course.
Anyway, so we do the same thing.
Yeah.
So we have that too. So then we know, what they like. And so, there are times where somebody goes above and beyond and, we get wind of that or we see it or whatever it is. And then we'll put together a little care package that has their favorite things in it. They also earn the paw points so they can redeem those for fabulous gift cards, or they can do it for a half day off, a full day off. They can get their car cleaned. They can, so they can turn it in for anything from,
Massage
like
to
chips
food.
and candy all the way
Wow.
up to like a full day off.
Nice.
They bank their points on that. So some of that just to kind of keep them incentivized. The hardest part is the consistency, is being consistent about it and we have a plan in place. It's a great plan, but making sure we're consistent with that across the board.
Yeah.
And,
It's difficult.
yeah, it can.
It is.
We probably could have someone full time.
Yeah.
Pay them just to do that.
Just to
Yeah.
walk around and like, hey,
Just to
good
make
job.
it more fun for the team.
Mhm.
yeah.
We should note to self, HR/fun.
Yeah. We'll call that
So,
an organizational psychologist.
I mean,
Fun.
because it's,
Fun
yes,
plan.
we do games. We've done like Cabana bingo, and we have a Cabana card, and they have
Mhm.
to, either like, clean the equipment or dust something or get a client to ask their dog to sit in the lobby. Just, you try to get the clients involved.
Give you a high five. Get a client to
Yes.
give you a high five.
Yeah.
I mean, this was, of course,
Before
pre-COVID.
COVID.
Right,
One
right.
What's the
time I
deal?
walked in and like the whole team was high-fiving me and I was like, our team is so cool. They're all high-fiving me. They're in such a good mood. I was on the bingo card.
And you're like, oh man.
Oh man.
Had nothing
I thought it
to
was
do with
real.
it.
What's the deal with the sandbox in yard 3?
What are you
But-
talking about?
In yard 3.
Do you
Is
have
this a
a
trick question?
Yeah, don't you have
No,
to-
we do have a sandbox in yard 3.
don't you get points for filling in the sandbox?
Oh.
Or-
Oh
He's
yeah,
looking
something
at your
like that.
bingo
Yeah, that
card.
was on the Cabana card.
yeah,
so
I was
if you
like, what
need
is
to get
Constant.
things done in the facility, you put it on the Cabana card and then add a few
Gotcha.
fun things in with it.
This is brilliant.
Yeah, find the bottom of the sink. And they're like,
Yes.
what? And I'm like, do the dishes.
Well, we had a gold star, a paper gold star, and we would put it on places that rarely got cleaned. And then we would say, okay, there's 3 gold stars in the facility. When you find them, as you come across them, you can redeem them. And
Ooh,
so
that's a
it would
great
make
idea.
people look and say, oh my gosh, we haven't cleaned under there in a long time. So then
Yeah.
they would clean it out, So
That's
Oh.
That's like
different
the
things
golden
like
ticket.
that. Yeah, like
Yeah.
the golden ticket. And then we would do the duty head game. That's a fun little game. We should do that because we haven't done that in a
What
while.
is the duty head game?
I know where it is.
It's here somewhere. I saw it. It's you put like caps on your head and then you throw duty balls at each other and they
It's
have to stick on the cap.
Oh,
And
so it's
the
like Velcro.
Yeah. And the team that has the most duty on their head wins. Dragon rights, things like that.
That's awesome.
I won.
Yeah.
Just little things like that. And Angie, what'd you do the one time we did like hula hoop?
We've done, it's a toss, it's another Velcro toss game, and you have to toss a little, you find them in the kids section toys. They're like $5 and, Walmart and Target, and they're little boards. And then you have people come in teams and they compete against each other. And then whoever wins the game, they get a gift card. They can pick whichever gift card they want.
Oh, that's
So we
cool.
did that during the holidays, especially it's just as little incentives when we're super busy, we'll call them off. So, and 2 people into wherever we are and just have them play the game, and then they can pick whatever gift card, they want for that. So it's an immediate, quick, kind of off the cuff thing to do.
And they all just laugh, or we had everybody doing the hula hoop against each other, and they're like, I can't do it. I was like, just try, and they look ridiculous. And it just, you laugh so hard. We
Hey, I'm
do it
good at
too.
hula.
I'll do it. Yeah, I can do a good hula hoop,
Yeah.
with those
Perfect,
hips,
yeah.
fingers.
That's our generation. We learned to do the hula hoop.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
So
like,
they're
hula
cute.
what?
Courtney, our reservation spell, she was doing huluing everywhere with her. I was like, girl.
Oh, with their necks and with their neck and her arms and
do everything. I think it was her. If not, they'll tell me
Wow.
if they watch this. I don't know.
Like
It
hidden
was
talent. Who
That's
knew?
so great. Not
Who
like the,
knew?
and you get actual real points to, get prizes and
Yeah.
things like
Yeah, we
that.
don't
Not
do
like
that.
brownie points that I used to promise you. Huh?
Oh yeah. I
Every
used to-
time Bart would do something nice, I would go, brownie points. And after a while, he was like, these don't apply to anything. I don't get anything for brownie points.
she never like
Stop talking about brownie points.
Stop.
There was
Give
no
me brownie.
redeeming.
No. Well, I mean,
no, they were it started to become counterproductive or like it was a negative reinforcement.
Oh,
Brownie point.
no.
he was like,
That's
great.
cute.
That's another thing I did that I'll get nothing
Yeah.
for in return.
Yeah, I'm like, well,
But now
enjoy your
you feel appreciated now.
I
don't
do
you?
much better.
Okay, good.
Have
we
you guys
appreciate
done
you.
you know have you done the 5 languages of love or the 5 love languages?
Actually, I have that. Yes. And I have the book and I
They have
just gave it to my
business.
supervisor and I told him it's on his for his review.
Mhm.
He has to read it. Oh, I need to look at that because it's by a certain time. See, consistency, follow through, and
No, I hear
and then he has to apply it. So I said,
Yeah.
when you read, then you have to apply it.
Yeah.
So that is on our list for the supervisors right now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we just finished doing that. We got like a printout of like everybody and like specifically, what they want from us as
Yeah.
owners and what
Yeah.
they want from their
We can-
coworkers and their
Or whatever.
Through the website, you can pay
Yeah.
for employees to it's like less than $15 per employee or right around that. And
Nice.
you can get a full report at the end with, their first most appreciated, like how they like to be appreciated,
Yeah.
first, second, and least, and
Yeah.
examples of like, this is how I want my supervisors to appreciate me. This is how I want my
Yeah.
colleagues to appreciate me.
It's a great
So it's a
idea.
pretty valuable a report. And I think
We
it's
had-
like $25.
we had
It's
one guy-
totally affordable.
Yeah.
our facilities manager, and he was just his first love language was gifts. And he was like, who isn't like gifts? Like who doesn't want gifts is the
Isn't
first
that-
thing. Like,
he assumed
isn't
that was
everybody? And there was only
first.
2 people that was their
Yeah,
first. I was like,
yeah.
I don't like to get gifts.
Yeah.
Um,
I
Because
do
most
now.
people
I
was-
do now. I used
Wild.
to not like gifts, but the older I get, I'm like, what's my gift? I like
well, it's like if
Flowers,
it's a
that's
gift,
like
like
flowers.
okay, they know me,
yes.
a
Yeah.
meaningful gift that is something that you would actually
yeah.
want.
My daughter gave me the squeezy things, stress balls.
Mhm.
She gave me one that was a hippopotamus because there was like one Christmas where I was walking around singing the All I Want for Christmas is a
Aw,
hippopotamus.
Cute. She
And I was
remembered.
like, oh, she gets me.
Oh,
That's
Yeah.
sweet.
Yeah.
That is sweet.
Yeah.
We found out
Uh,
one of our team members just love sharks. Like, the random things you kind of find out. And I went, ooh, I'm going to notate that
Yeah.
because,
And she had a tattoo, and I was like, "What is that? A shark tooth? Why do you have a shark tooth on your arm? Like, what is that about?" And she was like, "Oh my gosh, I love sharks. They're my favorite." I was like, no, well,
Yeah,
let's
that's
talk about
on our thing. What are your favorite things? One of the
Yeah.
questions is, what's your favorite animal?
not always a dog.
you think we would have that on there, but
Well, our
it.
manager, our lodging manager, her favorite animal is a moose. And so she's got a dog named Moose, and she has shirts that have moose. We were at IKEA and I found a chocolate, like basically a 3-dimensional puzzle that you put together that's chocolate,
And it's a moose.
that it's a moose.
How cute.
great.
See, that's
She-
a great idea. I do have their favorite things list because they
You do?
combine ours and theirs. For
oh, nice.
one of the guru talks. So I was like, well, I'm going to change ours. I just haven't yet.
It's all good.
You and Courtney, she's like, hey, I got an idea. I'm like,
yeah.
let's finish that other one, honey.
Zing! What? Oh, there it went.
Good at
Hold
starting
on.
things.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can start things all day long.
Yeah.
It's the finishing that is the challenge.
That's
Yeah.
good. That's funny.
I'm laughing because I can relate. So I'm not laughing
Good.
at you. I'm
No,
laughing at
I'm
you.
really glad. So what would you say are the most rewarding things about owning this type of business? Like looking back since you started, what would you say are your favorite parts about it?
I think being involved in the community, like really the relationships, that we've built in, from the people we met in the chamber, we have some of those same relationships still, with those people, and they've supported us so much and we've supported them too. And, just really making those relationships and of course the relationships with the clients, You
Oh,
know,
yeah.
we have, so many now second and third generation
Yeah.
Mhm.
dogs coming in, and, it still breaks our heart. We were trying to remember the other day, what dogs do we still have that we've had since we first opened, which
Yeah.
was, 13 years ago. And there's,
Mhm.
not too many
Yeah, there's
left.
not
Yeah,
too
that's the
Yeah.
hardest part.
Yeah,
Yeah.
year 15 usually is, well, for us, year 15 was the year that like the first generation, 15 to
Yes.
20, most
Yeah.
of them had passed on.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember
Right.
Palm, we had a dog named Rafe, and he was
Uh-huh.
like Palm. Like,
Oh,
Palm-
he
like
was this
baby,
big.
baby when he started.
He was like
yeah.
a border collie mix or something,
Mhm.
and he grew up to be like 80 pounds. But
oh,
like we
Now
knew
we
him.
have Merlin.
Yeah, we knew him at like
Oh.
9 weeks old, and then I watched him for
Yeah.
14 years get old
Right.
and die, and
Mhm, mhm.
so
That's
we
tough.
get it.
Yeah, we used to have
we just had a tough loss. Our team
oh,
had a
I'm
tough
sorry.
loss. Molly.
Yeah.
She was just a perfect little small dog. She was like a medium size, but she's been with us since the beginning.
Yeah.
And
Oh, wow.
she's gotten sober. She was 15. She had a great life,
Yeah.
You
and,
send cards.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
And
Cards are
flowers.
yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yes. Well, it was, it's so cute because we send cards, but the things that our team wrote about Molly to her parents were so sweet because they
Yeah.
were really personal.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Because they just, she was a fan favorite.
No,
And
that's
she's
awesome.
Yeah, and she's been
Yeah.
with us so long. But yeah, we send cards and flowers or plants if they like to plant outside or
Mhm.
Yeah.
It means
yeah.
so much to the clients too. Not
Yeah.
not only that they got something in the mail, but it's like you really knew their dog. It wasn't, it wasn't just like, so
Dogs-
sorry for your loss,
Yes.
with one signature. It's like every employee tries to sign, and
yes.
we don't all
Try
get
to do
there every
something at
time, but-
Christmas too. So
Yeah.
during the holidays, we try to do a remembrance of them too. So they get something from us at that time of year too.
Yeah.
As kind of a donation of something or some kind of,
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, wow.
yeah,
So you must have some way that you keep track of all the ones that have passed on.
we do. Yeah, we keep track of it throughout the year. So
Wow.
so we remember, and have another good cry.
Yeah,
Aw.
we used to have a picnic table that when I first started, I had a friend that worked at the Humane Society, and he'd come out here and help me, and we would drink beer and play dominoes and keep
Mhm.
score on this picnic table with the screwdriver. And then somebody had an idea of like getting these little brass tags,
Uh-huh.
and we started putting the dog's name and their birth and death month,
Aw.
Mhm.
and we would attach that to the table, and then
Nice.
the table like filled up
Yeah.
Yeah.
over the years, and then
Right.
like the table like rotted and fell apart, and so
Mhm.
that all went to the wayside.
You're like,
They're like-
well, maybe not.
Yeah,
I still
we
have the
actually-
tags. I took all the tags off, but
Yeah, we
Yeah.
have a handful of dogs that were buried on the property, even though we're not
Oh,
an
yeah.
official cemetery.
Yeah.
And they're not official headstones. But we did have a couple of clients that were just like, my dog always loved it out here, and would you be okay? And
we were
many
like,
years
"Sure."
ago, we were like, yeah, okay.
sure.
But now people like scatter their dog's ashes at the dog park and things like
Aw.
that. So that's really
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
But,
that's nice.
Yeah, I have no intention of becoming, getting into the crematorium business or the,
No,
pet funeral, pet cemetery business.
that's
I
a
don't want
tough
to do
job.
that.
I don't know. We have 9 acres behind us, so I don't know.
Oh,
That
well,
might
there you
be-
go. There's
Yeah.
another revenue stream.
There's
Think about it.
we
Stay
had
with
a
us from
there's a
birth to
business
death.
Yeah.
there's a business here that their business is mobile euthanasia.
Oh, it's
and
so
they-
great.
They
They're
have
so great.
two. It sounds morbid, but
We have a great one
We
too.
have a great one here.
Laps
Yeah.
of love.
yeah, it was
Yeah.
incredible.
Lap of love. Sorry.
We just experienced it for the first time last fall when one of our dogs passed away, and
Yeah.
we'd always just taken him to the vet before, we
Yeah.
didn't even know that service was out there. And
It's
this was
amazing.
during COVID and everything. And the vet came to our house all masked up and
Oh, they're amazing.
let us take our time. And as soon
Yeah.
as she was done, there was
She-
someone waiting with a basket, and they put him in the basket and covered him with a blanket. And,
Oh,
it was so sweet.
They do a very good job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They really do a good job. Yeah.
Yeah, it was wonderful. So many good things.
we just got
It's
dark.
not all
We got
sad. There's
sad.
lots of good things.
Okay.
There's so much.
Yeah.
So much love, I mean, it's just like,
Oh my-
I don't think I could have picked a better career because you almost don't ever get tired of all the unconditional love that you get from the dogs that come in. And
Yes.
not every dog is happy to be there, but almost every dog is
Yes.
super excited, especially if they've come first and had a
Yeah.
great time.
Do you guys know Courtney's story? Do you know how she got into this?
I don't think I
No,
do.
I do not.
How we got into it?
How, well, like how you got into it? Like,
Well, tell the story because I don't know where you're going with this.
hey, I'm quitting my job at the agency and working in a,
Oh, yeah, that's
Yeah.
your story.
no, well, I basically came home and said, like, I had a
We were
ulcer.
engaged to be married.
Yeah.
And he
and-
was and got a degree in advertising from the University of Texas.
And I just came home one day. I was like, I can't do that anymore. I'm quitting my job, and I got a job at a kennel for minimum wage, but I get a 50-cent raise in 2 weeks.
Right out of college. Yeah. I was like, wait, I just told all the wedding guests that I'm marrying an ad executive.
Yeah. That's how
Sure.
she was like, okay.
Okay.
No,
And then she kept her day job for
5 years. I
5
think.
years. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, how long when you started then did you purchase your facility?
From when we got married, or
Yeah, like where did you work? Did you guys start Dog Boys or you purchased Dog
we
Boys?
No, we
started,
started
it.
it.
Yeah, we started it.
Oh,
In fact,
okay,
we
okay.
first opened. Oh, sorry,
no,
I
go,
interrupted
no,
you.
I want to see what you're going to say.
When we first opened our facility in 1995, doggy daycare did not exist in Texas. Like
Yeah.
people did not let dogs play together,
Yeah.
period. In fact,
Right.
I remember I don't think I knew Susan and Robin from the Dog Gurus back then, but even in the early years, like they were also really pioneers in their areas too.
Yes.
But people told us we were going to pre-IBPSA, there was ABKA in the really early
Yeah.
days.
And we couldn't be members because we didn't have,
We
because
couldn't
we-
be some kind of certification we couldn't qualify for because we
Facility.
had to
Yeah.
play. Yeah.
yeah.
But they were, people before we opened, they were like, that is a terrible idea. You should not do what you're planning.
But
You're going to
it's-
get sued. It's never going to work. Like this
yeah,
is bad.
my parents,
Really?
Yeah.
we had lawyers and vets and like basically
Everyone.
said that's a bad
Do
idea.
not do this.
But I
Yeah.
had I worked at that kennel.
Locally. Yeah.
I found a trainer who at the time was like one of the first positive trainers,
Mhm.
and started apprenticing under her, like knowing nothing.
Well, and the kennel was a really old traditional,
Yeah, it was a gun
dog
kennel.
stays in his run.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
can pay for a 15-minute ball throw, but
No,
that's it.
no, they didn't even have that.
They did it?
No, they
Just let
had-
them out to.
They didn't. No, not at all.
Oh, they just stayed in the kennel.
Yeah. After 3 days, if they hadn't gone to the bathroom, we could take them out to the grass in front of. It was 2 kennels facing each other. And it was a mega kennel. It was like 160 kennels. So there'd be like 80 runs facing 80 runs.
And you thought that sounded better than advertising.
I got to be with
Yeah.
dogs. Like I
Well,
didn't
that
care.
was, it was that place that made him realize, like,
This sucks.
if I was going to do it myself, it would be different
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw.
because
I
they wouldn't let him take dogs
I
out.
saw the young, sport dogs going out of their mind because they were
Oh, I
stuck in a
bet.
kennel.
Yeah.
Or the foo-foo dogs that were terrified because they weren't socialized or
Yeah.
so there was
So
all
you
these.
worked there for 5 years before you opened
No,
your
no, I only worked there for like 2 years and it was mostly seasonal. So like summers and holidays.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I was also working in a pet store. I was working for that trainer and doing some of her board and train and training
Mhm.
dogs at the Humane Society.
Yeah.
And then I started doing board and trains and I realized I can only do like
So many out of the
3
house.
or 4 board and
Right.
trains. And so I did that for 3-4 years and I was pet sitting too. But that was, really seasonal.
We got married in 92. We opened in 95.
Yeah.
So
So
yeah.
3 years.
But it was from 95 to 2000 that I still kept my day job. And
Yeah.
I would like come home and people were literally checking in and out in our kitchen.
Yeah. I was bathing dogs in our shower and
Yeah.
they lived in our garage and
Sometimes not dressed.
they were all the time not dressed.
One customer was like, I didn't need to hear that. I don't need to know this.
That's why business took off.
Yeah. Yeah.
The dogs loved it.
The dogs
They're
love
like, I really feel like we're one now. This is good.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
awesome. And then you decided to build, I assume. You're like,
We
Well,
built in 97.
Yeah, well, my dad and I built like basically a roof and 10 gravel bottom
That
runs.
was in 95. Yeah.
Yeah, and we boarded them in the garage at night,
In
and
crates.
I was like, these 2 dogs seem really cool, or this group of dogs seems cool, and it seems silly to
Mhm.
leave them in these runs or separate them. I was like, they're going to be much happier, I think, if they can play. And so it started from there. And I used to, we would put them in the backyard, or I would take
Yeah.
them
Daycare was
like,
our
off.
backyard.
I just think that some of the crazy shit I did, like, like I took dogs, I would take like 8 to 15 dogs off leash on a walk on a property that was just fenced with barbed wire. So
Yeah.
any of the dogs could have just ducked under
oh my gosh.
but
But
they
they
didn't.
didn't.
They were like, we know that guy and he's going
Shoot.
that way. And
Thank goodness.
Yeah. Even
I
now,
don't do
like,
that now though, right?
no,
No.
but even now, like our facility is different than the way we would coach other people to do it. So
Sure.
we started out with all this land and we built play groups, really far out from each other. And so we may have groups of dogs that are maybe 2 to 5, maybe 7. But most of the time it's like 3
yeah,
to 5
but
in
they
a
used to
group.
be a lot
But
bigger.
they're all spread out and there's not a person standing in every group. They're just always walking around. So it's not the traditional
Gotcha. Yeah.
way that we would tell
But we-
people now.
But we spend a
Right.
lot of time with behavior and evaluation and
Sure.
understanding dogs' energies and
Yeah. And we're constantly reevaluating every time they're here. We're watching behavior and making notes on their cards and all that. So
Yeah. We do
it's-
the same. We're pretty
Thanks
big
a
on
lot.
behavior and, always watching.
you got it.
it really is so important. Behavior is so important.
So important.
There's so many people that got into this industry, like in the last 10 years, they're like, oh, looks lucrative. I think I'll get into, I like dogs.
Yeah.
And they just don't know anything about behavior.
Well, the market crash or
2008.
yeah, when that
That's when
happened.
we opened.
I started. Mhm.
Well, no, you guys got in.
Why not? Let's just try it.
No, well, I think you were probably starting before that. It's when all the
Mm-hmm.
investors were like, yeah, it looks like the pet care industry didn't really take a hit.
Mhm.
They
Yeah.
were like, that's a safe investment. And so corporations were like,
And then COVID came.
And then COVID.
Surprise.
Yay.
No,
Well, we
no.
have a surprise for you.
Oh, you do? What is it?
Mhm.
it's a speed round.
It's a speed round of questions.
This is how you know we're coming to the end. of
Yeah.
the-
Okay,
the
speed
interview.
round.
It's
So
3
they're-
questions.
They're easy questions.
Oh, okay.
Well, they
Oh.
might be. Well, some of them, one of them's fun.
Yeah.
How many dogs have you had, like lifetime? Like back to a little kid,
Like from,
like until now?
Oh,
Like,
personally.
personally,
I was
yeah.
like, hold on, so that we
No, I
have
would've given you some
120
prep
a
time.
day. We have been
Math,
open
freaking
for how
out.
many months?
Yeah,
Okay.
no.
No. Okay, personally. I have had Cricket, Brutus, Harley, Deuce, 5, 6, 7.
You
Oh,
get-
including the ones I have now, right?
Yeah. Well, then when you were like a
You've
little
got-
kid too.
you have 3 or 4 now.
I have 2 now.
Okay.
I have Gabby and May May, but I had a shepherd mix. I don't remember the name when I was a baby, when I was probably 2 years old. Then we moved here and I had Cricket. She was a black poodle mini. Well, I guess then it was like a just standard black
Yeah.
poodle. Now you have minis, super minis, and
Yeah.
and then we got Brutus, who was a yellow lab.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I left him, he was there until I left home, passed away about a year after I left. Then I got my own black lab, Harley. And then Deuce, who was an American Bulldog Hound mix, who just passed away last summer.
Okay.
He was the bestest boy.
It was the bestest.
And then now I got my 2 littles, Mamie and Gabby.
Mamie and Gabby, that's
That's
our
our kids.
children's names.
Are their nicknames?
Yeah. Gabrielle and Mason.
That's great.
Oh,
Mamie,
that's wonderful.
well, Mamie was his childhood nickname. Sorry,
That's
Mason.
cute. Yeah.
So
That's
I've had 6. I'll tell you my first and last. My first was Petey. Petey was a black and white hound lab mix. I remember the day my dad brought him home because he was this big.
Oh.
And he came home and we didn't know we were getting him. And he came home, he had a blue eye and a brown eye. And yeah, so he was my first dog. And then my current dog, her name is Grace.
She's the brown dog.
She's the brown dog. Yes, most definitely. She's 14 now and has lost her hearing.
So
And so I got her right before we opened the cabana. So she's been here the whole time.
She's one of the last one.
She's one of the last. Yeah. So she doesn't wake up anymore when I come home and to greet me. So it's a little delayed response for that. So it's hard watching them get old. But yeah, so
they're the bookends. Dogs are bookends. That's what I usually write to people or comment on. I'm like, you're like, what happened in that 16 years or 8 years or however long you had the dog?
So true.
Yeah.
Okay, so this was actually supposed to be the first question. What was your first memory of dog? Like, do you remember like the first time you saw a dog or first time you played with a dog or
First time you owned a
the
dog.
first time where you were like joy of dog?
Well, that was mine. I just sold it.
Okay.
Petey was yours. I would probably say Brutus because I was a little bit older and my parents put him in a box for Christmas. They did the whole standard thing that you see on TikTok now, and he didn't make a peep. And we had been wanting a dog for so long, and we were upset, my brother and I, because we could only open one on Christmas Eve, and then we had to share it. And I was like, well, why do I have to share a gift with my brother?
Right, that's not fair.
I got to wait 12 hours to open my gifts. And then we opened it up, and there was this perfect, pudgy yellow lab in a box.
Green? Did you cry?
I don't think I cried. That I don't remember. I just
Probably
remember
just like,
so excited holding him and loving him. And
that
then
puppy smell.
the puppy smell. I just remember we were, and then I remember my brother, we had him in a box. I guess we didn't know about crate training. I'm not sure. I just remember my brother every night would push the box into my room.
nice.
And I had to take care of it.
Let Kendall do it.
Yeah, she's the animal person.
I like it.
So cute.
That's funny.
So cute.
Yeah, dogs
Maybe
are.
Brutus. He was a good dog.
Yeah, my first like memories, like not just of dog, but like first memories were playing with my dog. I played hide and seek, and I couldn't figure out how he kept finding me.
How
It's
cute.
just like he is really good at this.
You're like, this dog is so smart. It's almost like his nose is really good.
Yeah, he's just like,
That's so cute.
Well, and I was just a really bad hider. I could just go down the hall and stand against the wall. Okay, so we all know, like being dog lovers, there's things that they do that drive you crazy, or there's what's your biggest oops or oh my god moment you had with your dog? It's something that was horrible at the time or cost a lot of money, but now you look back and can laugh about. Like our dog ate our Christmas dinner.
Oh yeah.
My dog Grace, she's a Beagle Basset mix. So she's short to the ground. You know.
She takes after her Aunt Kendall.
Yeah, she's Aunt Kendall's. Yeah. Goddaughter. So yeah, didn't think anything. She's never been a counter surfer, like never, in her life. And we ran an errand for something and left like 6 containers of fudge on the counter. Oh. And she managed to pull all 6 of those down and eat the entire thing of fudge.
Oh my.
And she was fine.
She's fine.
Yeah.
She's
totally fine.
She's a junkyard dog.
She's like me. I could eat it too. It's fine.
Yeah.
Junkyard dog. She's
Bring it on,
fine. I
fudge.
panicked, like, what am I going to do? I know
Meanwhile, she's over there like,
Yeah.
wiping her face,
she's like, ooh, that was so good.
She like, check my poo later.
Yeah, I think
I
that's
was
what
a
Tessa thought.
horrible first
Yeah.
dog mom. Horrible.
My dog had a $100 beef tenderloin.
Yeah.
She was like, that was good.
She was like, that was worth every penny.
Even if it's my last meal.
Right.
Yeah, what are y'all having?
Well, my big snafu was getting a black lab named Harley when I was 20, living on my own, working 3
Perfect.
jobs. Had why wouldn't I get a black lab? Because
Right.
my
You're an
yellow lab
adult.
was perfect. It had nothing to do with the fact that we lived on 5 acres and he had 300 acres to roam. No, it had nothing to do with that. So, I got a black lab. I didn't crate train him because I felt guilty because I was gone all day. So let's see. My Christmas tree, he ate from where he could reach it down.
Oh, nice.
and he pooped hot pink because of the ornaments for 2 weeks. I got a call from one of my brand new roommates once that was like, your dog ate my couch. I was like, what do you mean? Like there's a hole in it. I was like, so literally came home, there was a hole this big in her brand new couch that she moved in. And I can't even begin to tell you the multiple shoes that he ate.
Oh, Harley.
Harley, of course, he passed away at 12, was the best dog ever.
Of
But he was
course.
a total Marley.
Yeah.
I just was a young, unprepared dog owner. I should have never owned a dog.
Yes.
And, I shouldn't have had my own, or I should have had a
I
small
know,
one, like a Chihuahua.
Yeah.
So those are my 3 questions to prove that dogs are divine.
They are.
That
You're
they
like,
are.
I did it and I did it again and again
and I did it again and again. And you
Right.
still love me.
And I love them and I miss them.
I know, so true.
Of course.
So true.
Yeah.
Oh, this was fun, you guys. Thanks so much for being
Thanks
on
for
the
having
podcast
us.
today. We really
you're
enjoyed it.
welcome.
We enjoyed it too. I appreciate it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And if you guys who are out there watching or listening are in the Tampa area in
Tampa.
Florida,
West Coast.
go visit Canine Cabana or tell your friends and family, caninecabana.biz.
Yes.
And we will post more links in the show notes. So
.com now too, right?
We're .com. We
We're
got,
talking. We got the
Woo!
we got the
.com.
double. We got the double going on. Yeah.
awesome.
I just keep forgetting to say .com because I'm so used to saying biz, B-I-Z.
That's
No, I
right.
say
They're like,
.com.
what?
That's
Either
right.
one will get you there.
Yep.
All right. Well,
Awesome.
you guys have a great day and we'll see you soon.
Thank you.
Thank you, you too.
Take care.